Hey you guys, it's Dani. Today I am going to be doing probably a pretty long VR to the hashtag Tarot Collection Top Decks. I saw this on Astro Lady Tarot, Anna's channel, and I watched a few other ones. This is originally started by 78 Puertas. I hope I said that right. And I loved these 21 questions, and I thought I would join the tag. So here we are. Because it's probably going to be long, we're going to get right into this. So let's start with number one. What was your very first tarot deck? So my very first tarot deck, well, we're a little busted. This is not the actual one that I had, but it is a copy. The first one, this is considered the Tarot Nova. The first one that I got was in a fortune telling kit when I was 13 years old. So around 97-ish. And it was the very first deck I ever got. And this is what it looks like. It's very glossy. It is not at all typical. But every time I look at it, it's like I can smell my room. I can feel the excitement looking at these cards and looking up all the meanings in the book. And it had this really cool, layout paper that you could put all your cards on and then do your reading. So this was the very first deck that I ever got. This one right here, these are the backs. Very fun, very, very of the time, I feel. Number two, your most recent tarot deck. My most recent deck is Unicorn's Journey Tarot by Lisa. This is so beautiful. So I got this one in just recently. I had a prototype copy. So this is my beautiful finished version of the Unicorn's Journey Tarot. So this is the most recent deck that I've gotten in. And I love it. It's so beautiful. It's so much fun to use. And it literally feels like I can pull it out and kind of talk to Lisa whenever I need to. It just holds all that energy. It's so scrumptious. So scrumptious. Number three. Okay, I have a tarot deck and an honorable mention for this one. Which tarot deck has the best colors? So, y'all know, I'm a basic kind of girl. I like muted colors. And so for me, Candle in the Cave Tarot, the colors on this deck, oh my god, literally could match what I have. Could match anything in my shop. I love, love, love the dark chocolate background. The sides. I know it's probably kind of hard to see the actual color here, but trust me when I say it is a beautiful chocolate color with these smoky blues. Oh, look at that. Oh, I just love the colors of this deck. I absolutely adore it. Love this. But another one that I thought I'd mention is actually a Lenormand. So, like, technically not cheating. Cheating, not cheating. But I have to say this because I love the colors on this deck so much. This is, sorry, I'm just trying to put this back in my bag because this is going to get out of hand if I keep them out. This is the Green Glyphs Lenormand. First off, look at that coppery edging. So gorgeous. So gorgeous. Oh, I have my extra cards in here flipped around. Yeah, these are the backs. But look at these colors. Look at these colors. The orange, the blue, the green, the yellow. The color palette on this Lenormand is everything. It's got a vintage feel to it. They are vibrant. I just love the colors on this deck. Oh. Look at that. So good. Love. Love, love, love. A good color palette will get me every time. Number 4, what tarot deck has the best faces? So I had to think about this one for a while because I'm like, I don't know. I don't really focus much on that as a reader. Like, I love expressive faces, but like the best faces, I don't really know. There's so many that I have that if you can see their face, they're very expressive. But I thought the best ones for me would probably be something like on the Revival art. I grabbed both of them because, I mean, it's kind of all together. But these are just gorgeous paintings. And so the faces are beautiful and clear. No face. They're expressive. I mean, look at that. Because they come from such classical works of art. So stunning. They have such beautiful faces. So there's a first and a second edition. And again, they both hold such beautiful cards, such expressive faces. I love these so much. Like, look at that. My goodness. So expressive. So definitely the Revival art when it comes to faces, I think. Number 5, which is your largest tarot deck? That would probably be this guy. This is a regular RWS. It is the very, very large Spanish edition from AGM. By far the biggest tarot that I have. Very clear to see. Never really used it in practice, but it's a lot of fun. It's just so huge. Like, so huge. Then on to my smallest deck. Again, Unicorn Journey Tarot. This is the smallest deck I own. Smallest tarot, smallest oracle, smallest deck. She tiny. Look how little. The only other one that I had that was, come on, focus in on this, not on me. Hello. There we go. That was similar to this was my mini Nicoletta Chicole and my mini Marseille, neither of which I have anymore. So officially, UJT is the tiniest deck that I have. And when I say can still shuffle like a dream, like I'm not kidding you. Watch. Let me. Look at that. I know you can hear. And they're all in my hand. So they're really soft enough to shuffle, because otherwise, I don't know what I do. But yeah. The cutest little tarot. The smallest deck I own. So, what tarot deck has the best court cards is the question for number 7. And I thought about this and I was like, I have no idea. And then I said, well, I mean, Mystic Masters, because I know them. Like, I feel like I know them intimately. And so that's what I chose. Let me see if I can find one now. So our King of Coins. I feel like when it comes to court cards, it really is proximity. You know what I mean? Like, what are you closest to? What deck do you know the best? Because then I feel like I can really know those court cards. And for me, that's absolutely Mystic Masters, because I specifically was able to find the images that embodied those court cards for me. And so at a simple glance, I'm just like, yes, I know them. I feel their energy. I got you. I got you, boo. I got you. And so definitely Mystic Masters for me. For sure. For the next question, it's which is your most worn out tarot deck? I mean, Mystic Masters is pretty worn, but I grabbed these. One is an oracle and one is a tarot. My Sasare Bito is pretty banged up. I haven't used it in a while, I'm not gonna lie, but look at her. Look at her. She's warped. She's chipped and worn because she was so loved. Like, you can tell my nice bend I got in there. Like, I used the hell out of this deck. It's such a great deck. It was definitely one that stayed on my desk for a very, very long time. And while my style and my style hasn't changed that much, but I just don't reach for this one as much anymore. But that doesn't mean it's any less loved. You can tell. I know everything's upside down, inside out. But you can see how worn out this deck is. And I am totally okay with that. Totally okay with that. But my other one that has taken a beating and back, y'all already know, is my Fairies Oracle. Now, I recently, well, you can still see a bit of the wear and tear. I actually went ahead and re-edged it because it had gotten so bad. But you can see how scraped and busted these decks can be when you just love the shit out of them, you know? So this deck is definitely a ride or die for me. I've had it for years upon years. I've spent so much time with this deck, with the book. Doing little modifications with it. Definitely one of my most loved and worn decks. And I try to keep it as good as I can, but, you know, her wear still shows. It still shows. Number 9. Which is your most esoteric deck? Spirit Keeper's Tarot. To the point that I just never used it. I've tried. But I feel like there's so much. I want to study it, learn it. It is so beautifully done. And there's just so much stuff packed solid into this thing. That most times it really just feels lost on me. So beautiful though. Such an amazing style. So much symbolism. It's quite amazing. Number 10. What deck is the best one for shadow work? So for me, this shifts and changes quite a lot depending upon what I'm doing, what I'm looking into, what I'm trying to work on. But when I think of just like the dark recesses of the mind, bringing up those, you know, deep emotions and I often associate that with very fiery energy. I would say the Ritual Tarot. This deck is so impactful for me in the way that it's done, that it just feels like it can reach those inner depths better than anything for me right now. The imagery I find very impactful. It's got this mystery about it. It really sparks my intuition. And it takes me places that I really don't feel like any other deck quite does. It's like the color, the image choices, the layers. I just find it works really, really well for shadow work for me right now. Again, a lot of these shift and change, obviously, all the time. You know, we're always in different seasons when it comes to working with the tarot and what we're using for certain things. I just find it just ebbs and flows so much. So, like, take everything that I'm saying with a grain of salt. This could change very soon, you know, for most of these. But right now, that's a big one for me. Number 11. What tarot deck has the best back design? I'm a basic Becky in many, many ways when it comes to stuff like this, because for me, right here. I love these backs. These are my favorite backs when it comes to an RWS. I love the Tudor Rose. I love Pixie's signature. I love the green color. This is the Centennial Borderless Edition. I don't know what it is. I love these backs. I do. They're simple. They're easy. But I love them. The little one in the tin has the like baby blue. Love that one just as much, but there's something about this green. You know, this is my favorite Pixie deck. It's by far my favorite. And so, yeah. All the things. Those are my favorite backs. I really do love them. Genuinely. Number 12 is what tarot deck has the best cardstock. I'm going with one of my OG favorites. Pagan Otherworlds. This cardstock is like butter. I love this deck. Like, it's bendy, but it's sturdy. It's got this, see if you can see, look at that beautiful linen finish. Do you see that? And when it comes to this deck, the imagery coupled with this linen cardstock just creates such a good feel in the hand. I love this tower. I love this deck so much. Oh my god. I'm just obsessed. Still by this deck. Every time I pull it out, I'm just like, oh, I love you so much. It's like you almost forget until you pull it out again, and it's just pure joy. But the cardstock, y'all. Hear that? Oh. Are you kidding me? It moves, it bends, it's sturdy. Do you know how old this deck is? And it doesn't even hold the bend. It does not hold the bend. I use the crap out of this deck, y'all. I mean, look at my box. My box has taken quite a beating over the years. But these cards are still honestly, in perfect condition. They really are. And, you know, I take care of my cards. I try to keep everything, you know, from getting too warped with the humidity and this, that, and the other. But some just hold up better through time. And this is one. Because if y'all would see how many times I pull this thing in and out, in and out, in and out. When was this done? 2016. 2016. Yeah, because this is the first edition. This thing is almost 10 years old, and it is still fantastic. Fantastic condition. The box, though, is worse for wear. Next, what tarot deck has the best soft silky touch? So I had a couple of oracles that have a soft silky touch. Reclaim Oracle is one, like off the top of my head that I know. But I had to really think, because I don't get many decks that have that kind of rose petally soft silky finish. But I do have the Children of Litha. And this does have a really soft, kind of buttery feel to it. And it is kind of scrumptious. Like, it's got, I don't know if you can kind of see. Do you see how the light catches that, like, matte finishing? Whoa. Not me. The cards, boo. So you can kind of see that velvety finish on these cards. And with this deep black all around, it really makes the colors pop. It kind of brings that velvety finish, really brings a little something extra, I think, to the cards. Although it does make them so much harder to shuffle. It feels fantastic, but it is harder to shuffle. I love this card. I love those eels. Brings me back to Ariel. The Little Mermaid. Flotsam and Jetsam. Oh. Such a beautiful deck. I am banging and clanging and all kinds of noise right here. Let me take a drink. So yeah. Off the top of my head, this is the only one that I could really think of that has this kind of velvety soft finish. I know some people are probably like, Dani, what about this? Listen, I don't claim that my mind is extra sharp these days. It was off the top of my head. Okay, next. Number 14. What tarot deck has the best sound when you shuffle it? Tarot Volatile. Hold on. I know I always got my little extra cards in the bag. So again, this is a linen cardstock. They're my favorite. Gorgeous deck. Love this deck. So hard. So hard. But it's got the whoosh. Let's listen. Come on. Oh. Even better whoosh than Take Another World, because these are a little more bendy. They're not as stiff. And so just the whoosh of it all. Ugh. And the snap. Like, can we talk about this snap? Look at this. Boom. So when you flip, like, you can really get the whole deck going. Love it. Oh my gosh, I'm not doing too bad. We're only at the 30-minute mark. I thought we were going to be much longer than that. Okay. Let's do number 15. Which of your decks is the most misunderstood? So when I think about decks that are misunderstood, for me, I'm thinking of this as like the ones that maybe I misunderstand sometimes, or that people misunderstand, kind of like something in general. The nameless one. Because There are some cards that I pull, I'm still not familiar enough with this deck to be like, oh, I know exactly what I'm looking at. Because I don't. I don't. Sometimes I do, but a lot of times I don't. Because we simply have an image and a sigil. And sometimes they are hard to decipher. See, this I believe is our Ace of Wands. The Fool. Ooh, dropping. This is the Fool here. Oh no! Everything fell off. My glasses that I probably should be wearing on my face and not on my head. Everything. The Devil. But like, we got Pentacles. We know we got Pentacles. You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm still learning this deck in so many ways. I started reading the Grimoire. But like, I'm kind of devoted. And I'm honestly thinking of just like biting the bullet and possibly writing on the cards. They're so beautiful. I love the sigils. They're very interesting to me because they're not the way that I do sigils. So I really enjoy the whole like magic of that. Look at this. But I'm not gonna lie, it's hard to understand. Oh, Baba Yaga. Love it. Love it. But yeah, this one's a tough one. And like, I have the big book because I want to understand. I want to play with this, and I want to use this, especially in my magical practices. It's definitely one that just really stands out, and something that I feel like I can pull and read even from the little book, and or grab my big book and really dive into it and use it for spell work, or recreate the sigil, or put it on my altar as an altar cord, or you know, work with the energies that come along with it, whether they be planetary or elemental or whatever that may be. There's so many layers to it. And while, you know, I'm not going to lie, for me, this is not a plug and play, right? This is not a pull out and you got this. Not for me. Not if I'm reading it in a tarot sense. If I wanted to read it oracally, maybe, I feel like that would be easier in a way. Yeah, this is one that just makes me slow down. It makes me slow down. There is no like pull and recognize everything for what it is. This is one that I have to sit with. So it takes time and energy and space. And when I do have the time, I sit with it, and I sit with the big book, and I do that kind of stuff. But I still think it's one that's still very, I'm not going to say untouchable for me. But one that I'm not going to reach for everyday things, I guess, because it's still so mysterious to me, you know? Okay, number 16, which is your most ancient tarot deck or most historical? So I couldn't really think of a tarot that I have that's really uber historical. Even my Marseilles are not the historical versions. But I do have two different decks that are quite old, or representations. The oldest probably is going to be the Oracle Berlin, a reproduction from 1845. Not a tarot, but definitely an interesting little oracle. So this, some extra cards here, is that deck. We have planetary symbols. A quite interesting little deck. One that I would honestly love to kind of really dive into, because I haven't. I want to say I have to translate this one. No, it's in English as well. Okay. I thought it might have just been in French, but it's not. It does have an English version here. I haven't messed with it a whole lot, but I would love to use it next to the medieval Europe tarot, just because it has similar vibes, and I just think it would be really interesting. I think we might play with that one day. If you guys are interested in playing with that with me, kind of looking through this and kind of learning it and working with it, maybe beside that, I think that would be kind of fun. Could definitely do that. I think it would be really cool to explore this deck alongside a tarot, and I think medieval Europe tarot would be perfect for this 1845 little oracle. But the only other old one that is actually incredibly old is my Nile cards. These are playing card fortune tellers from 1902. I want to say this version is either 1902 or 1904. This deck is from. And it is old. Look, I have a missing piece. And delicate. But do I still use them? Yes. Yes, I do. I still do. I'm gentle. But I love it. I absolutely love it. So this is an actual historical deck that I have. Not tarot, but just as cool in my opinion. Oh my gosh, just a few left. Yay! Okay. Okay, for this one. Number 17 is, which tarot deck was the most surprising, for good or bad? I don't know if this is good or bad. But surprising it was. And I can't really show this to you just like on the whim. I have to strategically show this to you, because this is the St. Jinx Arcana. I knew this was going to be a deck of hot guys, obviously. I knew there was going to be a lot of nudity, obviously. My friend sent this to me. And I will say the most surprising part about this deck is how creative the creator was in making sure that we have... Do we have anything in this one? No, I think this one's actually safe. How creative he was in making sure that just about every single card has a very distinct wiener into it. Notice how I strategically place my hands. There are some, I laugh so hard with some of these because I'm like, you really had You really had to think out of the box to show that thing coming up at the bottom of the card when the laws of humanity don't hold for that kind of member. This one I don't think has this one's okay. Two. They are quite surprising. I know it's hard to see, but I really can't show y'all these. They're pretty intense. I can't even show you the backs. Oh, that one is impossible. Like, y'all, we're showing through the legs, through any little crack. We got it coming up and coming in. It's coming in hot. So, yeah, I feel like that's probably the most surprising. I was just like, wow. We're really... Oh, God, it was this one. Bro. Do you see where my hand is? Ooh. Wait. Do you see where my finger is? Like, this could have been the whole image. But nope. It's poking out right there. Like, what? I'm not mad at it. But it was quite surprising when I saw it. When I saw all of these. I am here for the nice erotica like anyone else. But like, oh yes, from the back. In multiple places. I'm telling you. If we can show it, we're gonna see it. Even between the legs. So, nothing really surprises me much in tarot anymore, but this was interesting. Okay, number 18. Which tarot deck has the best purchase story? I don't really know. I don't really have one. So I figured I would just show this deck. Because it was the most unique experience. So in order to get this deck, which was on DeviantArt, I had to reach out to the creator and ask for a copy, because this one is not just kind of sold. You have to go ask the creator themselves. And this is a Harry Potter deck. Has a lot of Thoth vibes to it. All done by this wonderful creator. Such a good deck. Very fun. Very wonderful artist. But that's the only thing I could really think of. I don't know. I mean, most of my purchase stories are like, I saw it and I immediately bought it. Probably sight unseen. That's usually how most of it goes. Or I saw pictures and I had to have it, so I snatched it. I don't really have any great stories when it comes to that. Okay. What tarot deck do you always use for self-readings? So this one kind of flip-flops. Because I use so many different ones. I mean, Mystic Masters, normally on hand. Normally use that. But right now, what I'm using for self-reading is what I've had on my desk for sure, at least 2 weeks. It's been right here. But I've had it around for a couple more weeks. Has been the Triumphi della Luna Illustrated Pips. I have been using the crap out of this deck lately. So right now, if I'm going for this is usually what I'm doing. have to say, as much as I love Deviant Moon, Triumphy just hits right for me. And right now, it's the energy that I want. It's the energy that I need. I'm just obsessed right now. I don't know what it is. Again, everything in a season. And so right now, me and this little deck, we're just BFFs. That's what I've been there she is. I've just been using the crap out of it. We've been hanging out a lot. #love. I guess that's not surprising, right? Look, my face is getting red. It's getting hot in here. It is, I'm like switch hitting right now because it's so cold in the morning in my shop. But by midday, it's so hot. So then I gotta unplug the heater, plug back in the AC because I can't run them both at the same time or while they're both, anyway, just one of those things. Okay. So this one, which is the most difficult tarot deck to be mastered, number 20. I'm going to say again, the nameless one. Because it's a tarot, but you're kind of flying blind in many ways, to me. And so, not only is it quite misunderstood, but it's also very difficult to master. Because you are, like, you're having to learn a sigil system almost. I don't know why I find this one the most difficult. I think maybe second up. Oh my gosh! As a matter of fact, I think Anna at Astro Lady Tarot said the same thing, but I absolutely agree. I think that's the one she talked about. But the Marielle Tarot is also incredibly hard to master, in my opinion, because it does go its own way. Another honorable mention, the Hieronymus Bosch, the newer one, because it goes its own way. It doesn't have minors, really. It's got court and arcana, and that's it. So again, not really a tarot, but you gotta master gotta master that one. It can be used as an oracle, I think, better than it can be used as a tarot, honestly, because it does go its own way. It creates its own system. But like, I do feel like Marielle and the nameless one also create their own systems, just in a tarot box. Whereas Hieronymus Bosch takes it outside of the tarot box. We have like main ideas, but it actually creates a new system. So I would kind of throw all those in that ring. Okay, so the last one. How do you answer this? Number 21 is what tarot deck is best overall? Ask me every day and I will give you a different answer. Honest to God truth. You might get me a couple days in a row. But I doubt it. I swear every day I have a new favorite deck. I have a new deck that I feel is like the ultimate at the moment. So I kind of thought about it and I was like, what deck kind of embodies like the system and the way that I read and the things that I like? What kind of embodies everything? And again, I mean, Mystic Masters is my deck, so I mean, whatever. But aside from that, because that's the one I would probably say best overall, because I know that one backwards and forwards, and I think that's kind of where that ultimately sits for me. But that's too boring. So I wanted to think about what next, like what after that. And honestly, the Rider Marseille, because it has a little bit of everything that I love. It has a limited color palette. It is an RWS system, which I love, with the vibes, the look, the feel of the Marseille. It has that old feel to it. Like, look at each card is different background. Like, it looks like it's done on old parchment that has its own stains on it. It looks like it's done with the typical Marseille style that are kind of like the printing runs where like they're out of the lines, and they're the basic muted color palette. God dang it, they're just every which way. But it holds that classic RWS style that I know and love, and mixes it with that art style of the Marseille that is just so quirky and fun and accessible to me. I like the colors. I like the way that it's represented. I like the hatching. I love so much about this that I thought best overall. Yeah. It's got the best of all worlds for me. The look, the feel, the imagery, the connection, the quirkiness. I really do love this deck. I really do. It's got fantastic linen cardstock. It shuffles like a dream. It's another one that has like, and it's got some like basic backs, a little rose on it. Not a Tudor rose, but hey, we'll take it, right? But beautiful, pliable. Is that the right word? Linen cardstock. Just scrumptious. Just scrumptious. And it kind of embodies all the things that I love. And so, if you ask me today, this is the one I'd say. Yeah. So thanks so much for watching, you guys. This was so much fun to kind of go through all my decks. I sat here for the longest time just like going through everything and like, oh, what about this one? Oh, what about this one? This one's better for that. I love being able to kind of answer these questions and play around with decks for a little bit and put stuff in my hands that maybe I haven't looked at or played with or used in a while. So I always love when somebody comes up with these really awesome questions and fun times with decks. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I will have the creator listed down below as well as all the questions and stuff. So if you're looking for that or looking how to find me, all that's going to be linked down below. And we will talk very soon. I'm sending you all my love. Mwah! Later, Gators.